So the next step, as you can see, is I have actually outlined the neck on the blank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bandsaw to cut it out roughly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a router and using the template route just to the edges. But what I am going to do, and this is a trick that I found, is not using the router up here, simply because you tend to get a lot of tear out in these fine areas, and that's the last thing you want, is to ruin your neck because you're getting tear out. So I'm just going to take the drum sander to it once I have the right general shape, so we can make the fine adjustments there, and that way it's a little bit finer. But we're going to make the rough cuts with the bandsaw right now. All right. So this is the prep before I route the neck using the my template. So I'm gonna glue that up together real quick, and then we'll do the routing. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten with the neck. I have taken the shape down with, at least on the neck part, with the router. The next thing is going to be just cleaning up these sides a little bit. I did also use the bandsaw first to take down this part of the brake, the neck, the headstock brake angle, and then using this plane, I actually planed it down flat so it's nice and flat, and then just drilled the truss rod access hole. This is what it looks like. So and this is how much I have gotten done with the body. The general shape has been routed out. I will need to sand the sides just to clean them up. And then once I work on the neck and finish that, then we'll finalize the pickup cavities and the neck brake angle. But it's looking good. Really like the way this walnut is looking. It's super pretty. So I've decided to use this ebony fretboard for the walnut guitar, but it's a little too thick. It's almost a half inch, and it needs to be more 1/4 inch. Plus, it's not planed, so I'm gonna plane it down, and I'm gonna use my super glue trick to affix it to this piece of scrap wood, so I can put it in a vise, and I'll plane one side, and then I'll flip it over, and then plane the other side. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so I lied and cheated and said that I was going to use hand planes to take the thickness down of my fretboard, but I was getting a lot of chip out and wasn't getting quite the cutting that I wanted with this really hard wood. So I ended up using my bandsaw and cut it to 1/4 inch. And after I did that, I took sandpaper to it on a leveling beam. There we are. So it's masking tape to a leveling beam, and just took it down, and it's quite nice now. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the I don't have a fret ruler at the moment, but I do have a pre-slotted fretboard, so I'm going to use that and put that on this fretboard, and I'm going to use that as a guide to cut my fret slots. Alright, here we go.